When I did beauty therapy and makeup artistry, I put myself through college by cleaning houses and working at a fish and chip shop. That fish and chip shop was of such high quality. I was so incredibly lucky to work there, and man, did they show me how to crumb seafood. So I'm going to show you. So you need your flour. I do a mixture, now I do, but back then it was just plain breadcrumbs. I like to add shredded coconut or desiccated coconut, but I will say this, keep your coconut down, like don't put too much in. It can get really powdery and it can feel powdery on the back of your throat. Let me show you quickly, because if you've not had a homemade prawn cutlet, you have not lived, my friend. So we get these beautiful prawn cutlets, they're from the South Melbourne market. They are shelled, they are raw. You're gonna cut them through the middle, and by just using your knife, if there is any of the poo in there, you're gonna get it out. No wonder these prawns are expensive, there's no poo in them. The trick with crumbing, you've got two hands, and one is your wet hand, one is your dry hand. And whenever I do this live on Insta, I always mess it up. So here we go. We've got some squid, we're gonna dust it off. In the flour, this is where you can add a lot of flavor. I wouldn't with squid, but again, when I do chicken dippers for kids' parties, I like to add my sweet paprika and all my salt in here and into the egg wash, and that is just 2 eggs beaten. Really dust off that flour, and see how I'm keeping this hand over here. This is my wet hand. So then we put our breadcrumb mixture out and we flick it all up. If you are doing a big batch of crumbing, here's my tip from me to you, and you can do this with a lot of things. When you go to freeze this, you would put a tray down, baking paper, and you would freeze them singularly like that, right? Whole tray of them. Give it an hour. Once it's frozen, take it out, scoop them all up, put them in a freezer bag, and you have got a bag of squid rings ready whenever you want, and you can just take 1 or 2 out because they won't stick together because you've snap frozen them in single portions. You will thank me for that one. All right, so now let's move on to the prawn cutlet. So you've got your prawn cutlet, you're gonna dust it off, just like all the others. Put it in your egg wash, swirl it around a little. Now here's the trick to this. Pick it up by the tail, put it in, and get that split and you flatten it down. So we can pop this in, and can you see all those bubbles happening around the handle? That means we are good to go. Now if these had come straight out of the freezer, just stand back because they will spit. That's how you want it, nice and golden. Give it a tap. I'm going to drop in some of the prawns now. Make sure you don't crowd your pot. I mean, we all don't have a deep fryer, we all don't have a fish and chip shop. So make sure you don't put too much in there, and make sure your dish is deep. If you can get it with a heavy base, a bonus, but we don't always have amazing pots and pans. So the best thing you can do is keep that movement and keep the space around whatever you're deep frying. Traditionally, you do serve your seafood baskets with tartare sauce, right? But I love to do it with a sweet chili mayonnaise. So all I do is pop a heap of really good quality. A nice eggy mayonnaise is good. The soy mayonnaise is really good as well. And then a little bit of sweet chili in there. There we go. Mix that through. And it'll look like it's kind of separating, but you'll find if you keep going, it turns into a lovely pink color. And you know what? I don't always have time to like make my own chips or do the oven fries. So I just send the other half down to go to the fish and chip shop, order over the phone, and he comes back with some chips and we are good to go. So better rocket always looks good. We're just gonna pile up some squid rings, top it with some prawn cutlets around, which are so beautiful. Oh, they're so meaty. Honestly, when you've had homemade prawn cutlets, you cannot go back. Some wedges of lemon. Drizzle this over the entire thing, or you can just pop it on the side, like that. Oh, so good.